Hey, welcome to Mantown, everybody. Tonight, we're going to make for you a pepper crusted ribeye steak in a nice hot cast iron skillet. This recipe can be found on our website at ManTownUSA.com. Before we get started with the steaks, what I'm going to do is my brother Phil, Mantownian, we decided we were going to have some asparagus to go along with our ribeye steak. Got the bunch of asparagus. You're just going to basically chop off bottom couple inches. So without cutting off a thumb, I'm just going to kind of crunch those right down. There you go. Beautiful. All set. I'm going to lay those out. Just going to grab some vegetable oil. Going to sprinkle some of that all over there, nice. Get a little bit of our nice fresh ground sea salt. Give that a few twanks or twists or whatever you want to call it. Ground black pepper. I'm going to come over and I washed my hands first. It's not an issue here. Besides, once it's cooked, it'll cook off any germs there may be. Just going to toss that around a little bit. Make sure everything's nice and coated with the salt, the pepper, and the oil. We're just going to kind of let that sit there for a little bit. Let all that absorb. Okay? Okay, so that's all set. Now, as far as the steaks, we got two beautiful pieces of ribeye here. We're going to just set these down right now. On your skillet, you can put your oil directly into the skillet. You're going to crank up that heat until that is actually starting to smoke. Again, we're going to take now your nice fresh ground black pepper and keep on cranking. You're going to put this pepper on one side. Again, that's what the recipe says. I am going to turn it over and put some pepper on the other side. Get that a little tapping. I'm going to take that and flip it. And I'm going to crank some more. Again, we're waiting for that oil to get nice and hot before we put this beef on there. Funny thing is, I don't have my glasses on because I can't even see how much I'm covering this steak with.
That looks good.
Does it look good?
Yeah.
All right, beautiful. Okay, we're at that point now where our oil is definitely smoking here in the pan. So we're now going to take our beef, and be careful when you do this. We're going to lay that in. Listen to that nice sizzle, baby. Wow, that's what we're about here at Mantown. Meat. Try not to have them touch. You get them touching, then you're getting steaming. You end up steaming the damn thing. All right, we're going to let it sit there. Don't turn your heat down. Keep it on high. We're going to let that go for about maybe 4 minutes each side. That'll give us hopefully a nice medium rare or rare. We're doing well here. I'm going to take the asparagus that have been sitting here. Just going to kind of toss them out there on our grill. Look out, that's hot. You don't want to put your fingers on that. Beautiful. Come on, get out of there. Alright, we're just going to kind of keep an eye on those. Just kind of roll them back and ready to flip these babies right now. I'm using, I call them flipper overs. I used to call them tongs, but then my kids thought I was talking about these girly underwear, so I call them flipper overs. I'm using my flipper overs. You don't want to use a fork. Use a fork, you pierce that steak and all that nice flavor comes out. Oh, look at that, son of a bitch. Isn't that beautiful? Oh. Yeah, that's a beautiful thing right there. Okay, I'm gonna let that sit. Okay, we're gonna take the steaks. They've been cooking about 4 minutes on each side. We're going to take these out. We're going to let them rest. Gather up the juice. Nice, nice. You ready, Phil? Here we go. There's the one. I'm going to take our shallot, just dump that in there. I'm going to take our wooden spoon, just kind of move that all around. Gather up all the crud and stuff from the steak. Now, I'm going to come over here. I'm going to take about a half a cup of a nice red wine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That looks good. I'm going to take the recipe calls for chicken broth here, about a half a cup of chicken broth. I'm using a beef broth because that's all I had in the refrigerator. Again, about a half a cup of that. A couple squirts, whatever you want to call it. Worcestershire, take about a quarter of a cup of Worcestershire. Throw that on in there. Over here we have about a teaspoon or so of fresh chopped thyme. I'm going to dump that in. I'm going to take about 2 tablespoons of butter. I almost knocked my drink over. I know that line is there somewhere. Right there, Phil? Mm-hmm. Give that a nice chop. Give this a stirring up. I'm going to let that simmer for a minute before we add our butter. We're going to take that 2 tablespoons of butter. We're going to throw that in there. We're just going to kind of whisk that around. Let that butter melt in with that wine, the Worcestershire, the shallots, the thyme, in this case, beef broth. Just let that melt in. Okay, here we are, we're all set. We got this reduced down, it's thickened up a little bit. I'm going to shut that heat off. We're going to take one of our nice pieces of ribeye. Look at that beautiful piece right there. We're going to put this over here. We're going to set that right there. We're going to take the juices. We're going to pour the juice in there. We're going to incorporate that real quick with that reduction that we made. Just kind of give that a whisk around. Take a few of those. Put those right there. Nice, nice. Boom, boom. We're going to come over. We're going to grab that pan. We're going to take some of that nice reduction. We're going to just kind of drizzle that over the top. Even on the asparagus. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Your pepper crusted, pan fried ribeye with roasted over the grill asparagus.